So we'll go ahead and get started with our panel. If our panelists can introduce themselves in the order we have below. Andreas?
Yeah, sorry. I needed a second. Hello, everyone. I'm Andreas. I'm an international transfer student from Switzerland. Actually, so I did 2 years of high school in Switzerland, and then I went to the Bay Area for community college, and then I transferred down to UCLA. I'm currently a senior, and my major is MCDB. That stands for Molecular Cell and Developmental Biology. So pre-med.
Hazumi?
Hi, my name is Hozumi, and I'm international student from Japan, and I transferred from Santa Rosa Junior College, and my major is sociology with global health and digital humanities minor.
Imelda?
Hey all, so my name is Imelda. I'm a international transfer student from Diablo Valley College. It's in San Francisco Bay Area, and currently my major at UCLA is business economics.
Ishita?
Hi everyone, I'm an international transfer student from College of the Canyons, and I am from India. I actually did 2 years of high school here in LA, and then I went to community college, and then now I'm here at UCLA. My major is psychology, and I'm also pursuing pre-med.
And two.
Hi everyone, I'm international student from Vietnam and I transferred from Ventura College. At UCLA right now I'm majoring in applied linguistics major and I'm also a senior.
Awesome, so we'll go ahead and get started with our panel. The first question I have is for Imelda. So Imelda, how was the transition from your previous school to UCLA?
Personally, it was quite tough because back when I was in college, I have this semester system, compared to UCLA quarter system, it's more of fast paced. But as long as you keep into the community, try to engage with other students in the class and make sure you're not in the same circle of friends, try to explore. And then I'm pretty sure you can nail it into UCLA.
Awesome, thanks for sharing. Andreas, would you like to answer the same question? How was it for you?
Yeah, for sure. So I have to agree, it was a little bit overwhelming. So again, to backtrack a little bit, so high school in Switzerland is actually very demanding, and then community college was actually easier. But also different was in Switzerland, you don't have really many extracurricular activities available, and at community college you did. So I had actually a very balanced life, but then UCLA is really another level with how hard the classes are, but also so many extracurricular activities again. So that was kind of the overwhelming part. So you kind of have to really be able to time manage at this point, kind of set a little bit priorities and really figure out what works for you so you can do whatever you really like to do. Just prioritize.
Awesome, thanks Andreas. This next question is for Hazumi. Hazumi, what classes do you recommend to other international transfer students?
My recommendation is Digital Humanities 101, because it's an introduction for digital humanities, and what I like about the class is you can get a hands-on experience creating a website or data visualization, which can be applied to any majors, any studies, and also for people from people who transferred from small community college like me, I recommend taking some senior classes because those classes are very small and it's a discussion or research base with only 10 or 15 classmates, and you can get to know professors and peers. So I really recommend those classes.
What about you, Ishita? Do you have any classes that you would recommend?
Yes. So if you're looking for operative courses that you want to, if you're still not sure what you want to do and you want to explore various things, I would suggest taking LS 110. It's an easy course. It's seminar-based class. You get to make your resumes in that class. You get to make cover letters. It's really tells you like vast experience about like the life sciences area. And if you're looking for there's a really good class called Community Health 179. It's basically necessary skills for college students. So like if you're transferring especially, that's really good to take because it helps you like transition easily, and it also like relaxes you a bit. So if you're taking like hectic operative classes or like GEs, that's like a really nice low commitment class, and also like very informative. And also if you're looking for a meditation course, there's a class called Psychiatry 175, I believe, which is a 4-unit meditation course. They teach you how to meditate, and they also give you opportunities to go to like meditation retreats. Like right now it's what is that called? Right now we're in the pandemic, so like we cannot go to retreats, but they have like virtual retreats, and the classes are like really involved because there are like lots of TAs and like guest speakers that come, and it's just a really good class. And also lastly, every major has like prep classes to get you like into the fields. For example, LS has like LS 110. I believe chemistry has that kind of class, so you can explore the various careers in the field. So those are just the classes that I recommend.
Oh, that's awesome. And it looks like a lot of people are interested in that. So if you could drop those names of the classes in the chat later on. Okay, awesome. This next question is for Tu. What were some of the challenges that you experienced during remote learning, and what really helped you work through those challenges?
So personally, when we transit to the online learning stuff, I think it made me become a procrastinator. Like I don't do work, like hard work, when I was on campus. And there's a lot of distraction around when I stay with my family, and here and there I have to go to the kitchen to check stuff and to cook lunch for people in the house, or I tend to take classes that have overlap time, so I have to rewatch one class later. Also some technical issues like Wi-Fi, or even the professor have some problem when they posting the lectures online, or they even like disappear during the class time because the Wi-Fi got off. And what have been worked well for me is that I have my sister to keep track on me. So whenever on the class time, I give her my phone so that I don't check my phone during the class time. One other thing I think that's really nice about online learning right now is the recording. A lot of class doing recording, so I can rewatch it, and there's a subtitle, so I can track the subtitle and take note easily. What else? Oh, I think that's all for what is good right now for me about online learning.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Hazumi, what about you? What has been challenging for you during remote learning, but what has like kept you on track?
Something that was very challenging for me was to adjust time difference, like taking classes in different time zones. And for example, like during the last spring quarter, I have to like wake up until like 4 a.m. and also wake up like I think 8 a.m. and to attend some like meetings and classes. So it was very difficult for me to like adjust these time differences. But after taking spring quarters classes and summer classes, I started emailing to the professors about the time difference, and I asked them if I can take a recorded lecture instead of attending on-time classes. And those professors are like usually very helpful, and they record the lecture even though it's a kind of synchronous classes, and also like they are like kind of very like open to like welcoming about like attending office hours. So that was very helpful for me. So if you are having a difficult time like adjusting time difference, I recommend that.
Awesome. Andreas, do you have anything else to add about this topic?
A little bit, I guess, not really. So I'm fortunate enough to still be in America, so I don't have any time conflicts. which is pretty nice. And unlike for the others, actually, for me, online classes are easier because teachers are like, and I think they're required to record every single lecture, which might not be the case in person. They provide literally all the material they're presenting. So it's actually easier to manage for me. And I'm pretty good at not like really procrastinating. So actually, I feel like I'm saving time by not having to walk to class and stuff like that. So I kind of like it, but obviously because of not having really a social life, I'm not liking it that much. But grades are easier for me.
Thanks for sharing, Andreas. Okay, so this next question is for Hazumi. Hazumi, how do you navigate the difficulties of being at a new rigorous academic institution as well as being in a new country?
Let's see. So during the first quarter, it was very difficult for me to like adjust such a huge academic institution because I came from the small like kind of countryside community college. So first time I was very overwhelmed with how big it was. But after I started attending some like transfer events, international student events, I get to know other like friends, peers, and actually most of my close friends that I made at UCLA are international students or transfer students, because it kind of, for me, it's comfortable talking with them like about how it was difficult for me to like how some classes are difficult and how it was a difficult transition. So attending events and or maybe some other clubs like international students related, some clubs, organizations, maybe my recommendations.
Cool, thanks for sharing. Tu, what about you? How did you navigate the difficulties of being at UCLA as well as being in a new country?
So my first quarter at UCLA is quite tough too, because I'm really down about myself and about my my intelligence if I can be at this school. But how can I navigate that? I did that. I did well in my first quarter because I have that courage to ask the professor and other friends for help when I stuck on the homework and other things. Like if you can find a friend to help you, that would be nice. And attend office hour is one thing that I also how to navigate my my academic life. About my social life, it's just like I think every class have the group me chat, so I just make friend on there and asking a friend to track on me. So I asked them if you have a like the group study section at what time exactly, and then I join that section, and then I can make connection from there, and I have the personal like friendship after that. So that's how I navigate my academic. And also my other thing is I just like a bunch of social media about transfer student, Dashew Center, and from there I collect a lot of resources about a job in hours off caps or financial wellness thing. So that's the thing I did in my first quarter to know about resources and also how to survive at UCLA.
Wow, thanks for being so honest too. This next question is for Imelda. What advice do you have for getting involved as a transfer student?
I would say don't study too much. I mean, like I'm pretty sure like all of us want to get a good grades, but that doesn't mean like you have to always maintain 4.0 for all your years at UCLA, because I'm pretty sure if you aim for 4.0, you won't like explore that much. Well, it's pretty good if you can maintain both of them, but I personally, I don't think I'm able to that. Maybe like some of you too. So like don't study too much and try to explore UCLA, try to find extracurricular, try to engage, like come to events. Like I actually kind of regret for not attending much event at UCLA for my first year. And at UCLA, like I study a lot. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to not study too much, try to explore. Like I just came one of the events, career events and then I was networking with like some recruiters. I mean, like the point is not for you to only get a job. I mean, like try to do the communication with them, try to learn something from them, just like share some experience. It's like a good thing, like especially with currently everything is virtual. It's like your social life is kind of limited, so just try to come. As with virtual, it's everything like you don't have to come to the exact location, like it's easier, so just like try to attend more events.
That's great advice. What about you, Andreas? What advice do you have for people that are trying to get involved?
Yeah, I definitely. Do you hear me? Sorry, something popped up. Okay. No, I definitely agree. Try to be involved. Try to not say, "Oh no, I don't have time that easily." Like, usually can make it work. This is kind of what I was talking about also with time management, really prioritizing and just try making it work, because it is possible. It's easy to say, "Oh, I'm too lazy, not going." So try not to do that. I also sent a link in the chat, which I recommend checking out. This is pretty much a list of all the clubs on campus, and trust me, there are a lot, there are hundreds. So let me see what I've written down. So I would say get started as soon as you can. Check out what sort of clubs there are. Yeah, check out the website. And again, don't be afraid, don't be shy. The clubs are very welcoming. A lot of clubs are still active, even though everything is online, and they're trying to be creative with activities and icebreaker and games and stuff like that, to really, so that you can really still make friends online, and especially then once in-person classes resume, you can hopefully meet in person. Yeah, and as we mentioned before, there are other events too, right? Like other resources like the Career Center. You can just go to these events. It's so easy to attend all of those things now, since you don't have to go anywhere. Or this event, right? Coming here is already a good choice. And yeah, but I think the clubs and student organizations are really my biggest recommendations to make new friends. And pretty much all the points we said before, finding study buddies and have the groupness and all that. So yeah.
Cool, thanks for sharing that resource. This next question is for Imelda. What advice do you have for making the most of your time at UCLA?
Like I mentioned, don't study too much. Like 4.0 will make it doesn't guarantee you to get a job out there. It's better for you to explore and try to manage your schedule. Like make sure you have a balanced life between schools, activities, like also like me time. Maybe like you have to like refresh for yourself with all schoolwork thing. Try to have a balanced life, guys. 4.0 doesn't guarantee you to get a job out there. Try to gain skills through activities, through clubs, organizations.
Ishita, do you have any advice?
Yes. So to make your most at UCLA, if you have like a thought like, oh, I wish I could do something at UCLA, there's probably a resource that you can use to do it. So for example, if you want to dance, like right now we're in quarantine, but you cannot dance with people, but the dance teams on campus are active and they're still doing it through Zoom. So if you want to dance, go through it. And also take advantage of like the internship resources that UCLA has. I'm pretty sure almost every major sends you like a list of like internships or like extracurricular activities or like research position that you can be a part of. So like subscribe to those emails, reach out to people, and also join clubs. Like clubs don't mean like you just have to like be like academic based. If you have like an interest, for example, I know that there's like an anime club on campus. Like if you're interested in anime, you can join that club. If you like Disney, there's like a whole group on Disney where like usually they go to like Disneyland, but right now they're just watching Disney movies together. So that's just like a good way of like making friends. And also I know that there's transfer frats, so you can join those as well. So it's like a very good way of like making friends at UCLA, especially like right now because you cannot go like out and meet people. but they're still very engaging. You still get to meet like people from like all walks of life, from like different countries, from different states, and they all have different experiences. So if you join these clubs, you will get to interact with so many people. And you can also, like, if you find people from your own major, you can create study groups with them, and like you can hold each other accountable. You can study together and just like have a good time. So yeah.
Andreas, do you have any advice for making the most of your time?
Yeah, let me see that. I don't just want to repeat myself and what other people said. I agree with everything we've said so far. Yeah, there are also actually a bunch of cultural clubs out there that are open to everyone. So if you just want to explore culture, I think that's pretty cool too. Yeah, but I said join clubs, use resources, like the Career Center, internships. Something we actually already said, but I'm still gonna repeat it. It's like the office hours right now, the online version, at least from my experience, so much fewer people are actually going to office hours. So it's actually much easier, at least in my biology classes, to get to know the professors and ask questions. And actually, I don't know what you're planning on doing, but maybe you need a letter of recommendation, which is very helpful, or you want to be involved in research. So it might be a good idea to talk to them. And yeah, I think, no, I don't want to repeat myself, just explore. I think that's actually very important. What Dishita said before, just like, if there's something you want to try it out now, because I think this is the time where you have the most variety of different resources you can find. And then after like undergraduate, you specialize yourself more. So really take advantage of that. And start soon. 2 years are not a lot.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So that's it for our panel. I hope you heard some insightful advice. We